the process is going to be the exact same. We isolate the expression with the rational power, we undo the rational power, we solve the resulting equation, we check our solutions. Okay, so if we look at this first case right here, when we isolate our radical or the rational power, which is already done, we then undo it. We undo them by taking them to reciprocal powers. So here the power of 2 over 5 means we take the reciprocal 5 over 2. Here the powers cancel on the left side of the equation, leaving w minus 6. Okay? And when you are working with this, you have to pay careful attention. If the process that you use to undo involves rational power with a denominator that's an even value, an even number, then you have to assume what you're doing. That is, in this case, a square root. When we extract a square root, we had to take into consideration both the positive and negative root. That's going to happen anytime the denominator is even when you undo the rational power. So here we have to take into consideration both the positive and negative of the square root of 16, which is 4 to the power of 5. Now, that's not the most common number, so we can calculate that here really quickly. 4 to the 5th. And if we get 4 to the power of 5, we get 1024. And so when we solve this, we're adding 6 to both sides. So w is going to equal 6 plus or minus 1024. So 6 plus 1024 is 1030. 6 minus 1024 is negative 1018. And so we want to test both these numbers, make sure they work. When we plug them back in, 1030 minus 6 to the 2/5. Again, we can use our calculators here to verify this. 1030 minus 6 all to the power of 2/5 should be 16 checks, so 1030 works. No, you'd use a normal calculator to plug it in. So if you had just a calculator that kind of looked like this, if we did the second one, we would take negative 1018 minus 6, close that off and take it to the power of, so the power of is right here, to the power of, and then in parentheses 5 over 2, or I'm sorry, 2 over 5. Close that off and hit equals, we get 16, so it confirms once again that the other number, negative 1018, also works. When you're working through this second problem, we isolate our rational power, already done. We undo that power. The reciprocal power is 4/5. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking the 5th root of both sides. It's not an even index, so we don't need to consider positive or negative. We're just looking at the one value. So in this case, the w plus 10 stays is isolated on the left side. We take the 5th root of 243, which is 3. 3 to the 4th is 81. Then we subtract 10 from both sides, and that would be our solution. We're going to check it real quick. 81 plus 10 gives you 81 to the 5/4. If you're using your calculator here to verify, 81 to the power of 5 over 4, and we get 243. It confirms what we were looking for, so yes, 71 is your solution.